Ladies and gentlemen, we need to talk about something that's shaping your relationships, your reputation, and your results, and you don't even realize it's happening. Your body is betraying you. Before you even say hello, your body is already introducing you. It's already telling people if you're confident or insecure. It's screaming whether you respect yourself or not. And for most people, it's doing damage every single day without them even knowing it. So let me ask you, have you ever walked into a room and felt ignored? You're talking, but no one's really listening? You try to connect, but something's off. It's not your voice. It's not your words. It's not even your outfit. It's your body language, and it's making people silently back away from you. And let me hit you with the truth like only I can. If you don't learn to own the room with your presence, no one's going to take your message seriously because they're too busy being distracted by what your body is silently broadcasting. I'm not enough. I don't believe in myself. I don't belong here. And let's be clear, body language isn't about faking power. It's about stepping into your real power, because the way you carry yourself, it reflects the way you carry your life. Now, I want to call out some subtle mistakes that are sabotaging your presence, whether it's at work, at home, in a negotiation, or on a date. Mistake number 1, shrinking yourself. You know what I mean? Folding your arms, hunching over, crossing your legs like you're trying to disappear. That's what animals do when they feel threatened. They make themselves small. So when you do that in public, you're telling everyone around you, I don't want to be seen. Guess what? They don't see you. Mistake number 2, the sorry smile, the nervous smile, the over smile, the smile you give because you're uncomfortable. Listen to me. Confidence isn't about being liked. It's about being real. If you walk through life smiling to make other people comfortable, you're abandoning your power at the door. Mistake number 3, avoiding eye contact. Let's get real. Eye contact isn't about staring people down like a psychopath. It's about connection. It's about saying, I see you, and I'm not afraid to be seen. If you're constantly darting your eyes or looking down, you're communicating fear, insecurity, or guilt. And here's the problem. People believe what your body says over what your words say. Every time. Mistake number 4, fidgeting. You're bouncing your leg, tapping your pen, playing with your jewelry, tugging at your shirt. It's distracting. And worse, it tells people you're uncomfortable in your own skin. And if you're uncomfortable with you, why would anyone else feel confident in you? Mistake number 5, the limp handshake or no handshake. Yes, even in today's world, that first physical moment of connection matters. A weak handshake says, I don't trust myself. A strong one says, let's go. Now listen, these aren't personality flaws. They're habits, which means they can be changed. And if you want to change the way people respond to you, if you want to command more respect, build real trust, close bigger deals, have deeper conversations, show up in your relationship with confidence. It starts with how you show up physically. You need to learn to anchor yourself. Roll your shoulders back, chin up, eyes forward, hands open, feet planted. Own your space. Stop performing. Start projecting truth. Because when your body is congruent with your words, you become undeniable. Confidence isn't loud. It's clean. It's the stillness in your voice, the intention in your eye contact, the way you walk into a room like you belong there because you do. And let me say this, for the women listening, stop apologizing with your body. Stop shrinking. Stop softening yourself so others don't feel threatened. You're not too much. You're just showing up in your fullness. And men, confidence isn't chest puffing. It's clarity. It's peace. It's presence. Here's what I want you to walk away with. Your body is your billboard, and it's already telling the world what to believe about you. So rewrite the message. Because when you align your body language with your value, people won't just listen to you. They'll follow you. Stand tall, speak truth, and for God's sake, stop giving your power away with every twitch, slouch, and fake smile. You're not here to be liked. You're here to be respected. Let your body say that before your mouth ever does.
When you walk into a room, your body is already talking before you even say a word. It's sending signals, it's transmitting energy, and the people around you, they're reading it. Whether consciously or unconsciously, they're picking up on your posture, your expressions, your eye contact, or your lack of it, and making decisions about who you are. Confidence, insecurity, power, doubt, openness, defensiveness, all of it coming through your body. And here's the hard truth. Most of us are sabotaging ourselves before we even open our mouths. The way we stand, the way we sit, the way we fidget, it's undermining our credibility, our relationships, our influence. You could be the smartest person in the room, but if your body says you don't believe in yourself, no one else will either. Let's start with posture, because that's the foundation. The way you carry your body is a direct reflection of how you carry your life. Slouched shoulders, it screams defeat. Drooped head, it signals insecurity. Arms crossed tight across your chest, that's a billboard that says, I don't trust you and I don't want to connect. Your body is mirroring your internal state, and guess what? It's also feeding it. Your nervous system listens to your body. If you're hunched and closed off, your brain assumes there's a threat nearby, and it starts triggering cortisol, the stress hormone. You start to feel small, unsafe, unsure. But if you open up, shoulders back, spine tall, chest lifted, you trigger a feedback loop of safety, confidence, presence. You literally change your emotional state through your physical state. This isn't fluff. It's science. Eye contact is another deal breaker. When you can't hold someone's gaze, they interpret it in one of two ways. Either you're lying or you're unsure. Neither one earns trust. But when you look someone in the eye with steadiness and intention, not aggression, not a stare down, you're saying, I'm here, I'm honest, I'm grounded. It's a simple shift, but it radically alters the dynamic of every interaction. People respect you more, they remember you more, they feel you more, and then there's the silent killer, fidgeting, the constant twitching, tapping, shifting. It communicates nervous energy. You might think you're being subtle, but other people feel it. It makes them uncomfortable. They won't say it. They might not even know why they're pulling back or disengaging, but your lack of stillness is contagious. And not in a good way. It's a leak. You're leaking power. Because stillness, that's what authority looks like. When someone is grounded in their body, not constantly shifting or scratching or twisting their fingers, they radiate calm. They radiate clarity. They own the space they're in. And that tells other people, you can trust me. I'm in control. Let's talk about your hands for a second. Most people don't know what to do with them, so they default to hiding them, stuffing them in their pockets, folding them tight, or clutching onto something like a security blanket. Here's what you need to understand. Your hands are trust indicators. When your hands are visible, open, expressive, especially with palms occasionally facing up, it signals honesty. It makes people feel safe. It's ancient wiring. Back when our survival depended on whether someone was carrying a weapon or not, open hands meant I'm not a threat. That instinct is still inside all of us. So if you want to build trust in a conversation, use your hands. Let them move naturally as you speak. Keep them visible. Use gestures to emphasize your points. Just don't let them be frantic or robotic. Let them flow from a place of clarity and conviction. Another subtle killer. That fake forced smile, you know the one I'm talking about. The one that says, I'm uncomfortable, but I want you to like me. That smile, it doesn't work. People feel the inauthenticity, and it creates a disconnect. If you're smiling when something's not funny, or grinning your way through discomfort, you're sending mixed signals. Authenticity builds trust. You don't have to plaster a smile on your face to be warm. Warmth comes through the eyes, through tone, through stillness. You're allowed to be serious. You're allowed to have presence without performance. In fact, that's what people are starving for, realness. Now, let's zoom out. Imagine all these micro behaviors stacked together. Slouched posture, nervous eye contact, twitchy hands, performative smiles. You might not be aware of it, but this is what the world sees. This is the asterisk story asterisk you're telling. And the problem is, it's not the story you asterisk meant asterisk to tell. You've got value, you've got intelligence, you've got heart, but your body isn't backing that up. So people don't feel it. They don't respond, and you're left wondering why no one takes you seriously. But the good news, you can change the story. You can train your body to speak in alignment with your truth. You can build the awareness, develop the habits, and step into a physical presence that matches who you asterisk really asterisk are. It takes practice. It takes intention. But it's one of the highest ROI things you can do. Because when your body walks into a room and says, "I belong here," the world responds accordingly. People will stop interrupting you. They'll stop underestimating you. They'll start listening. They'll start following. And you'll finally start asterisk feeling asterisk like the person you've always been, all of that, without saying a single word. When someone avoids eye contact with you, what's your first instinct? You probably don't think, "Oh, they're just shy," or "they're being polite." No. What your brain actually does, what everyone's brain does, is assume something is off, something's hidden, something's not trustworthy. That's how deeply hardwired this is. Eye contact is one of the most fundamental forms of human connection. It's primal, it's intimate, and when it's missing or inconsistent, it silently breaks trust before trust can even begin. So think about how many times you avoid eye contact during the day, on Zoom calls, in meetings, during conversations at the grocery store. You're not doing it to be rude. You're doing it because you feel uncomfortable, because you're insecure, because you're afraid of what they might see if they really asterisk looked at you asterisk. And that fear, it's wrecking your ability to build meaningful relationships, to influence, to lead. Let's get one thing clear. Eye contact is not about dominance. It's not about asserting power or control. It's about presence. When you meet someone's gaze, really meet it, you're sending a powerful message. I'm here. I'm not hiding. I see you, and I'm okay with being seen. That's what people want. They want to asterisk, feel asterisk you, not your perfect words, not your rehearsed responses, not your facade, but asterisk you asterisk. Eye contact is how they access that. But here's the hard truth most people don't want to hear. If you can't hold eye contact, it's because you haven't accepted something about yourself. You're still trying to hide. Maybe it's insecurity. Maybe it's shame. Maybe you don't believe you're worthy of connection. Whatever it is, that wound shows up in your eyes, or more accurately, in your refusal to let your eyes speak. And I get it. For a lot of people, eye contact feels too intense. It feels too exposing. That's why we default to glancing away, looking down, or fixating on something, anything else in the room. But when you do that, what you're really saying is, "I don't feel safe here." And if you don't feel safe, the person you're talking to won't either. That sense of uncertainty is contagious. People don't know why they don't trust you, but they feel it in their gut. They back off, they close down, they pull away, not because of what you said, but because of what your eyes asterisk didn't asterisk say. Now, let's talk about the opposite problem over compensating. Some people, when they finally learn that eye contact is important, swing to the extreme. They stare, they fixate, they lock eyes like it's a power move. But that's not connection either. That's discomfort wearing the mask of control. Real eye contact is fluid. It's a dance. You hold the gaze, you soften, you blink, you allow breaks. It's not rigid, it's human. One of the biggest transformations you can make in your personal and professional life is practicing authentic eye contact. And I say practice on purpose, because it's a skill, it's a muscle. You're not born knowing how to do this. Most of us grow up being told, "Don't stare," or "That's rude." So we learn to look away, to be polite, to be small, and now it's costing us connection. It's costing us leadership. It's costing us trust. Start by becoming aware. The next time you talk to someone, notice what you do with your eyes. Do you dart them away the second you make contact? Do you stare at the floor when you're listening? Do you avoid looking at people altogether when you're speaking because it makes you nervous? Just notice, don't judge yourself. Awareness is the first step to change. Then, begin to stretch yourself. When someone is speaking to you, try holding their gaze for just 3 seconds longer than you're comfortable with. 3 seconds, that's it. And when it's your turn to speak, look them in the eye while you say your first sentence. You'll feel exposed, vulnerable, but that's the point. That's where connection lives, in that vulnerable space where you let yourself be seen. And here's the magic. The more you do it, the more comfortable it becomes. Because your nervous system starts to realize, oh, I'm safe. I can do this. I don't have to hide. And as you reclaim that safety in your body, people start responding to you differently. They lean in, they listen, they trust you, not because your words changed, but because your presence did. Eye contact at its core is about being fully asterisk here asterisk, and most people, they're not. They're in their heads. They're rehearsing what to say next. They're worrying about how they're being perceived. They're trying to control the moment, and in doing so, they miss it entirely. But when you drop in, when you let yourself meet another human being in that quiet, electric moment of mutual gaze, it changes the game. It deepens everything. So if you're struggling to be heard, to be respected, to be remembered, stop obsessing over your words. Start paying attention to your eyes. Because people won't remember what you said nearly as much as how you made them asterisk feel asterisk. And nothing makes someone feel more seen, more safe, more connected than the simple, powerful act of looking them in the eye and saying, without words, I'm with you. That is what builds trust. That is what builds influence. That is what makes you unforgettable, and it's free. It's right there. You just have to choose to use it. People, pleasing isn't kindness. Let me say that again. People, pleasing is not kindness. It's fear in disguise. It's control wearing a smile. And it's slowly draining the life out of you. Because every time you say yes when you mean no, you abandon yourself. You trade your peace for approval. You silence your own voice just to keep someone else comfortable. And over time, that silence becomes deafening. It starts to echo in your mind, in your body, in your relationships. You lose touch with what you want. You forget what boundaries feel like. And eventually, you don't even recognize yourself anymore. You're just the sum of what everyone else needed you to be. So many of us were raised to believe that being nice meant being agreeable. Don't upset anyone, don't be difficult, be polite, smile, say yes, don't rock the boat, and while there's value in being considerate, there's danger in making that your identity. Because if you're always shaping yourself around what other people want, who are you really? If you've built your worth on being needed, what happens when you're not? What nobody tells you is that chronic people, pleasing is often rooted in trauma. Somewhere along the way, you learned that love was conditional, that your needs didn't matter, that you had to earn connection by overgiving, overdoing, overfunctioning. You became hyper, attuned to the moods of others. You learned to anticipate their disappointment before they even voiced it. And the moment you sensed disapproval, you'd pivot, you'd apologize, you'd morph into what they wanted, just to keep the peace. But peace at the cost of your authenticity is not peace, it's performance. And it's exhausting. Here's the reality. Being nice won't save you. It won't protect you from rejection. It won't guarantee love. It won't earn you respect. In fact, the more you contort yourself to please others, the less they respect you. Why? Because they can feel the lack of boundaries. They sense the desperation. They see that you don't value yourself. So why should they? And what's worse is that you start attracting people who benefit from your lack of boundaries. Users, manipulators, narcissists, people who love the version of you that doesn't say no. Think about how many times you've swallowed your own needs to keep someone else happy. How many times you said yes with a tight chest. How many times you smiled through resentment, how often you've gone to bed angry at yourself, not because someone hurt you, but because asterisk you let them asterisk. That's what people pleasing does. It creates a quiet war inside you. One where the battleground is your own self, worth. But here's the truth you need to hear. Your needs matter, your voice matters, your no matters. You are not a bad person for protecting your energy. You're not selfish for having limits. You're not rude for declining something that doesn't serve you. That is asterisk, self-respect asterisk. And the moment you start honoring yourself like that, everything begins to change. People will push back. Oh, believe me, they will, especially the ones who benefited from your silence. They'll call you difficult. They'll say you've changed. They'll accuse you of being selfish. That's not a sign that you're doing something wrong. That's confirmation that you're finally doing something asterisk, right asterisk, because the people who love you for who you really are won't punish you for setting boundaries. They'll respect them, and the ones who can't, let them go. You're not responsible for other people's disappointment. You're responsible for your own integrity. It takes courage to stop people pleasing. It means tolerating discomfort, sitting in the awkward silence, watching someone frown and not jumping in to fix it, saying no without explaining yourself, letting someone be upset with you, and still standing in your truth. That's what real growth looks like. Not everyone's going to like it. But that's the point. You're not here to be liked. You're here to be asterisk, real asterisk. And here's the beautiful thing. When you stop performing, you start attracting. The right people will come, people who respect your no. People who love you for your asterisk, whole asterisk self, not just the version of you that bends to please. You start to feel more grounded, more alive. You start trusting yourself again. Because finally, you're no longer outsourcing your worth to other people's reactions. You'll walk into a room and no longer wonder, what do they think of me? Instead, you'll ask, what do asterisk I asterisk think of this situation? Does this feel right to me? That shift? That's everything. That's how you reclaim your power. That's how you stop living from fear and start living from truth. So the next time you feel the urge to say yes, just to avoid tension, pause, take a breath. Ask yourself, is this honest, or am I abandoning myself again? And if the answer is yes, if you're betraying your own needs, then don't do it. Let people be disappointed. Let them misunderstand you. That's not your burden to carry. Your job is to stand in your truth, even when it's uncomfortable. To honor your boundaries, even when others don't like them, to stop choosing approval over authenticity, because at the end of the day, your peace is not worth the price of people pleasing. And you deserve to be free. You know the moment I'm talking about, when your gut twists, when your throat tightens, when something doesn't feel right, but you smile anyway, you nod, you laugh politely. You stay silent because confronting someone, saying, hey, that hurt, or I'm not okay with that feels like a war you're not ready to fight. So instead, you swallow your truth, you dismiss your own discomfort. And then you wonder why you feel so disconnected, not just from others, but from yourself. The truth is, you're not just avoiding conflict with others, you're creating conflict asterisk within yourself asterisk. Every time you ignore your feelings to keep the peace, you're starting a war inside your body. Your nervous system knows, your energy shifts, your body tenses, you might get a headache, feel drained, wake up in the middle of the night replaying that moment. That's not overreacting. That's your intuition screaming, you betrayed me. We've been conditioned to think conflict is bad. That if we upset someone, we're wrong. That keeping harmony at all costs is virtuous. But what if I told you that real peace, authentic, grounded, soul-level peace, comes from telling the truth, not avoiding it? That choosing yourself isn't selfish, it's sacred. Because every time you let someone cross your boundary, you reinforce the belief that your needs are second tier. And over time, that becomes your identity, the one who puts up with it, the one who lets it go, the one who doesn't want to make it a big deal. But it asterisk is asterisk a big deal because you matter, your voice matters, Your feelings matter, and if you keep burying them, they don't just go away. They fester, they show up in your tone, in your posture, in your anxiety. They show up in the resentment you feel toward people who don't even know you're angry, because you never told them. You just hoped they'd magically figure it out. Spoiler alert, they won't. Let's be brutally honest, confrontation is scary. It brings up rejection wounds. It triggers old fears. What if they get mad? What if they leave? What if I lose them? But here's the real question. What do you lose when you don't speak up? Your boundaries, your energy, your self-respect. That slow erosion of your spirit is far more dangerous than any uncomfortable conversation. Because that conversation, that's just a moment, but abandoning yourself, that's a lifestyle, and it's one you don't have to keep living. Start by noticing the moments when you feel the urge to lie, to smile when you're hurt, to say I'm fine when you're anything but that's the edge. That's the signal. That's where you're choosing someone else's comfort over your own truth. And in those moments, ask yourself, what would honesty look like here? Maybe it's, I didn't appreciate that comment. Maybe it's, I need space. Maybe it's, that made me feel dismissed. Whatever it is, say it asterisk before asterisk it turns into resentment. Because once resentment enters the room, it poisons everything. Relationships, communication, trust. Now, will it be easy? No. But here's the secret. Confrontation isn't about asterisk fighting asterisk. It's about asterisk clarifying asterisk. It's not about making someone wrong. It's about making yourself asterisk right with yourself asterisk. It's about creating relationships where both people feel seen, heard, and safe. And safety doesn't come from pretending everything is okay. It comes from knowing that when something's asterisk not asterisk okay, it can be spoken, held, resolved, and when you begin to live this way honestly, courageously, unapologetically, you start to attract different energy. People who value clarity, people who aren't scared of growth, people who want to understand you instead of just being obeyed, because guess what? The right people asterisk want asterisk your truth. They want your boundaries. They want to know where you stand, because that's how trust is built. Trust isn't built through silence. It's built through honesty, even when that honesty is messy, even when it stings, and those who can't handle your truth. Let them go, seriously. Let them be uncomfortable. Let them misunderstand you. Let them be disappointed. That's their path to walk, not yours to manage. Your job is to tell the truth and let it land where it lands. Some people will rise to meet you in that truth. Others won't. But either way, you win, because you stayed in integrity with asterisk yourself asterisk. Don't underestimate what this shift will do to your life. When you stop avoiding difficult conversations, you start living in alignment. You stop walking on eggshells, you stop doubting your gut, you stop shrinking, you start speaking, you start protecting your energy, you start building real intimacy. Not surface-level connection, but the kind of deep, soul-anchored intimacy that only comes when people know the asterisk real asterisk you. The real you doesn't smile to make others comfortable. The real you doesn't tolerate passive-aggressive comments. The real you doesn't fear rejection more than self-abandonment. The real you is powerful, clear, and unshakably honest. That version of you, she's not afraid of confrontation. She sees it as a bridge, not a bomb, a doorway, not a dead end. She knows that telling the truth might not always feel good, but it will always set her free. And freedom is the point. Always. There is a silent cost to saying nothing when something needs to be said. When you constantly minimize how you feel, when you excuse other people's bad behavior, when you tell yourself it's not that big of a deal, you are building a prison inside your own mind. And brick by brick, moment by moment, you lock away the strongest, most honest version of yourself, not because others told you to, but because you believed that being quiet was safer than being real. But safe doesn't mean whole. Safe doesn't mean peaceful. Sometimes it just means asterisk, silent asterisk, and silence when it comes from fear. not intention, is a form of self-betrayal. There are people in your life right now who have hurt you, who have disrespected you, who have consistently made you feel small or invisible or like your worth is conditional on how much you give them, and yet you've stayed silent, you've rationalized, you've convinced yourself that keeping the relationship matters more than speaking your truth. But let me ask you this, what kind of relationship is it really if it only survives when you suppress who you are? You were not put on this planet to be a doormat for other people's comfort. You are not here to carry the emotional weight of others who refuse to grow. You are not responsible for healing people who continuously harm you. And yet, many of us were taught that it's noble to stay, that it's virtuous to be endlessly forgiving, that being the bigger person means tolerating mistreatment. But let's be clear, enduring pain that you have the power to walk away from isn't strength. It's trauma speaking. It's the voice of the little girl who learned that love was earned through sacrifice, that her needs didn't matter unless everyone else was okay, that her value came from how much she could absorb, pain, pressure, projection, and she's tired. She's buried under years of people, pleasing, emotional labor, and smiling through gritted teeth. And she's still waiting for you to rescue her, not with more silence, but with truth, with boundaries, with a voice that finally says, "This is not okay." There's a powerful shift that happens when you stop tolerating behavior just because it's familiar. When you stop excusing people because that's just how they are. You wake up, you see clearly, you realize that the bar you've set for how people treat you was never your own. It was inherited, and now it's time to raise it. You do not have to keep people in your life who consistently make you question your worth. You do not owe loyalty to dysfunction. You do not need permission to protect your peace. And yes, that might mean having difficult conversations. It might mean letting go of relationships that no longer feel safe. It might mean disappointing people who are used to your silence, but your job is not to carry their discomfort. Your job is to stop carrying pain that was never yours to hold in the first place. Letting go is hard, but holding on to what hurts you is harder. You deserve to be around people who see you, hear you, value you not just for what you give, but for who you are. And if you've never experienced that, maybe it's because you've been too busy shrinking yourself to fit into places you were never meant to be in. But that ends now. From this moment on, you get to choose. You get to choose yourself, not once, not just in emergencies, but every single day. You get to say, "I'm not okay with that." You get to walk away without explaining. You get to build a life that feels like yours, not one that was shaped by guilt or fear. Stop keeping peace that costs you your self-respect. That's not peace. That's a performance. Stop calling it love when it's really obligation. Stop telling yourself you're just being nice, when deep down you feel used. Your intuition knows, your body knows, the tension in your jaw, the tightness in your chest, the weight on your shoulders. That's your truth trying to speak. Listen to it, honor it. People will say you've changed. Let them. People will accuse you of being cold, distant, selfish. Let them, because what they're really saying is, "I liked you better when you abandoned yourself for me." And if that's the kind of love they offer, you don't need it. You don't need everyone to understand. You don't need everyone to like you. You need you fully, completely, fiercely, and that version of you. She doesn't tolerate what breaks her spirit just to keep the peace. She speaks up. She steps back. She walks away when necessary, not because she's mean or angry, but because she finally knows her worth. This is your reminder. The pain of being misunderstood is temporary. The peace of being true to yourself, that's forever. You don't have to keep explaining yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You don't have to carry dead weight just because you once cared. You don't have to be the one who always absorbs. You get to be the one who chooses freedom over fear, voice over silence, truth over approval. You get to stop tolerating what wounds you, and when you do, you don't just find your voice. You find your power